Good evening and welcome to Behind the Mask, a place to have real conversations. Today I'd like to introduce you to a concept that happens to all of us behind our masks. So behind our pretenses of looking good and keeping up, we are constantly getting hijacked. I know this sounds a little bit weird, and maybe you have a funny image in your mind of someone hijacking a plane. And I'm not trying to make light of that, but let me tell you what I mean. Imagine going to a cocktail party where you have mustered the courage to go by yourself, even though you don't know that many people. And you enter through the door and you see a bunch of 8 to 10 people gathered in a circle. Everyone's having a great time, they have great rapport, so you think that's where I want to be. You try and make your way near there, but there seems to be no opening. And soon enough, you start feeling left out and rejected. And this happens to be a familiar feeling that you have felt before, so you recognize it. Now, even if you don't know it, you have just been hijacked. In that moment, your subconscious mind has gone back to an event in school where there was a group of people gathered in front of you talking about what they're going to do in the weekend. They were all a part of that conversation and you were not. And at that point, you had felt rejected, and you told yourself, I'm not a part of this group, and I'll never be a part of them. Now let's fast forward back to this cocktail event, where nothing has actually happened, except for you have entered through a door, and you have seen a bunch of people gathered. But that younger you has awakened in your mind, and your inner voice is saying, I'll never be a part of them. As a result, you begin to feel left out again. You make some feeble attempts to be a part of the conversation, but it doesn't work, and within 5 minutes, you end up feeling like an outsider again. Now, if any of you can relate to this scenario, this is how hijacking occurs. And the hijacking is done by none other than younger versions of ourselves. And we keep getting taken over by them all the time. This is why the concept of mindfulness has become such a buzzword today. Because when you are mindful, then the mind that is running your body belongs to the present age. So for example, if you are 35 years old, the body is 35 and the mind that is running the body is also 35. And then you can feel good about who you are today. You can feel happy about your career and your relationships. But the problem is, you don't know how long this can last for, because anything can trigger you. I know of a very successful man. He's a CEO of a large corporate, very well accomplished, has lots of money and a loving family. But he was bullied in school. And every time he met someone from school, or he went to an alumni gathering, he then became that scared little boy with low self-esteem again. Those thoughts don't leave us. And it doesn't matter how good looking we are or how accomplished we are in our careers. If we haven't dealt with this part of us that felt not good enough in the past, it will keep following us around. It's happened with me all the time. But the good thing is, it's easy to deal with. It just takes a simple visualization in your mind that you can do over and over again. I have done this on myself and with my clients many times. And the more I do it, the more I can enjoy being who I am today without constantly getting hijacked by my younger selves. So if you're interested in what this technique is, here's what it looks like. So in your mind, you just need to know, what is that incident that you keep going back to? Mine was being 15 years old and being in a line in McDonald's and feeling so nervous that I couldn't even order my own meal. And then anytime I had to speak up, I would keep going back to that line in McDonald's again. So figure out what's that incident for you. And then in your mind, walk up to that younger you. Introduce yourself to him or her. And say to him or her that that situation is over. It's in the past. You see, they've been stuck in a bubble of this situation and they don't know that time has passed. Tell them that you accept them and you accept what happened. Find out what emotion they are still storing. It could be nervousness, guilt, anger not good enough? Find out where in the body that you've been storing it. Maybe it's in the heart, the chest, the stomach, the back. And then just begin to take some deep breaths and breathe out those toxic emotions, those toxic conclusions, and allow it to just dissipate from your mind and from your body. As you are doing this, keep saying to yourself that this is finally over. Soon enough, your body will release and you'll begin to feel peaceful. This is not changing what has happened in the past, but it's releasing the charges from your mind and body that are impacting you today. So I encourage you to try this and make peace with your younger selves. The more you do this, the more you will feel as if you are in integral consciousness, and the less you will get hijacked, and you will finally be free and without the need to put on your masks.